Hi everybody! Thank you for all the wonderful birthday wishes today. I'm doing one of my favorite things, which is to cook my lunch using the sun with a solar cooker. So I'm going to swing the camera around so you can get an idea of what I'm doing. This, as you might have seen before on my various Facebook postings, is a parabolic solar cooker. It is about 1.5 meters across. It's essentially an old satellite dish. And it's got a highly reflective tinfoil type tape on it. Pretty close to silver. Silver is actually the most reflective substance that we know. And this is about 95, maybe 96% equivalent of silver. So what I'm going to do, I just want to show you something here. I'm going to grab a piece of wood from the garage. You know how I feel about burning things, especially wood. But for demonstration purposes, I'll make a sacrifice on my birthday. Okay, so here is the solar cooker. There's no warm-up involved at all. Once I pointed it into the sun, it's in focus. Actually, it's not quite in focus. It's actually burning right now the enamel paint on the surface. I can smell it, and I can see the smoke coming off it. So I'm going to have to layer down a little bit, get a little bit more in line with the sun. Now, take a look at this. No warming up required. Put this piece of doweling here. Within a second, it is on fire. It's smoking away. Quite a dangerous tool here. This solar cooker, just the sun, can get up to about 900 Fahrenheit in a matter of seconds. It's actually sometimes a little bit too hot to cook with. But anyway, here, let me show you what I'm going to make on it. My garage. I'm going to go over to my food preparation station for outdoor cooking, namely the washer and the dryer. And what I have here is, well, you guys know I'm vegetarian. I don't need to preach about it. I've got here a vegetarian simulated fish made out of soy, potato starch, canola, and probably more chemicals that I really want to know about. But it tastes good. And, you know, as a vegetarian, sometimes you miss certain things like KFC and fish and steak and things like that. So this gives you the, the trick and makes your brain, you fools your brain and think you're eating that kind of stuff. And I pop it on the solar cooker. I put some coconut oil on the base here. And let's check the focus. You know it's in focus when, I don't know if you can see that, it's pretty bright, when the bottom of the black pan is basically got the most intense light on it. So she's fully in focus. Already the oil is starting to bubble and to liquefy from its semi-solid state from being cooled. And I'm going to let this actually go for you because a lot of people don't understand how easy it is to do things with the sun. And sure, I've got stoves, I've got lovely appliances which we've spent thousands of dollars on sitting in the kitchen, but you know they all require fuel, and most of us could do this at least for substantial amounts of time. I've actually used this big parabolic cooker in the winter on days when the sun is shining, even close to zero. We've had some power outages where I pulled it out and boiled water to make coffee almost instantly. And you can see here that the oil is starting to bubble. We're actually cooking. I can smell now the fake fish. I'm going to call it flish for convenience, that the flish is starting to cook. It won't take long on this solar cooker. See it starting to smoke a little bit more. Now it's a beautiful day here on the island. Some of you haven't been here yet. So this is part of my house here. Garage. Up on the top, I'll back up a little bit so you can see the solar panels that are on the roof. We've got now 23 solar panels on the roof. At the moment, they're making about 5,000 watts of power. My house is probably using, well, I've got the dryer going. I didn't feel like hanging it on the line today. It's my birthday. I want to take a bit of a break. I'm powering the dryer and I'm powering the house, but normally the house only uses a couple of 100 watts of power at a time. So I make lots of surplus power. Now, I got to head back into the garage. have to get my flipper because, believe it or not, the fish is already cooking faster than I would like. Ooh, she's smoking. Okay, so we've got the fish here, the simulated fish. I'm going to give it a flip. It's sizzling away. It's cooking really well here in the sun. You'll see that that's in less than 5 minutes. You can actually see that it's starting to brown. Now, this is frozen, so I have to give it a little bit more time to cook all the way through. But, you know, this is pretty incredible technology. This is simple. I've made ones like this myself. This is a commercial product. But I made ones like this, much smaller, out of satellite dishes and tin foil. They won't quite cook like this. They're more for warming. The bigger the diameter of the dish, the more power it will produce. This particular dish, as I said, will get to 900 Fahrenheit at the focal point. It is rated at 1500 watts of power. 1500 watts of power. I know people have a hard time understanding units of electricity, so I'm going to try to put that in perspective. Your oven, your stovetop, I should say, a medium-sized element operating on medium to medium-high will draw about 1500 watts of power. That's the same as running 15 100-watt light bulbs. God, don't use those anymore, use LEDs. But it's the same as running 15 100-watt light bulbs for an hour. So this is instantaneous power from the sun. Oh, it's smelling really good. I know if you're not a vegetarian, this may sound completely, weird, but it smells like fish. I don't know how they do that. I'm sure it's seaweed or something like that. Fish doesn't actually smell like fish. Fish probably smells like wood it eats, which is what this stuff is made out of. Okay, so you can see that it's cooking away. It is making my lunch. We're only on maybe minute, I don't have a timer on this, maybe minute 6 or 7. No warm up involved, no cool down involved. Well, the thing is hot, not the dish itself. The dish is actually not hot. You can touch pretty much anywhere on the dish. You just don't want to get anywhere under this focal point where the cooking element is. Think of it as a super duper magnifying glass. Ooh, I'm actually burning now. Yikes! Yep. Talking too much, not paying attention to my flesh. One of them burned. Partly because if your focal point gets off just slightly, you'll have an asymmetry in the heating of the pan. So I've got one side that's hotter than another. I can move it, but it's hard to do that with the camera in my hand at the same time. It's easier just to move the flesh over to the slightly cooler side of the pan so it doesn't burn. Okay, so what do you think? Isn't this cool? I mean, I don't want to sound like a nut or anything, but whenever you can substitute a carbon-based fuel or even electricity for something like this, you should try. Trying to make it a mission in my life to slowly get rid of everything that I have that uses gas or anything like that. Try to switch over to cleaner burning sources, natural sources like this. Got rid of most of the things that I've had that run on fuel. Still have a smart car here, which I'm going to have to keep for a little bit. And we have the electric car. The house is pretty much solar. Recently just switched out an old weed whacker that was gas for an electric one. It works beautifully. And as things get old and as you got to replace them, I just want you to think about electrical options. I know there's a lot of preconceptions. A lot of it's based on bad experiences with batteries in the past, but the technology has changed so dramatically. And for things like this, like just cooking, anytime you can pull one of these out when there's some sunshine. And there's dozens of different kinds of solar cooker designs. Just send me an email if you want to learn about more of them. I make some of them. I sell one of them through my company, Sweet Spot Solar. But this one here is my go-to, mostly because it is powerful. And it will work pretty much under any circumstance. I'm going to give those another minute or so. And the flesh will be done. Now, I'm not a gourmet by any means. I like to eat, as you probably can tell. But I did get from Coombs, which is this lovely little touristy area on Vancouver Island. this new mustard. It's a caramelized onion mustard that I'm going to serve with the fish. Nope, no vegetables for me for this meal. That's kind of a funny thing, actually. As a vegetarian, everything I eat is vegetable based, or or fruit, or alcohol, which is technically part of those things too. So I don't need to have broccoli and cauliflower to create a nice balanced meal. That's what you carnivores have to do. Sure, this isn't a balanced meal, but this is a birthday lunch. You gotta give me a little bit of latitude on this one. Oh, this is looking great. Here, I'm gonna just pop one open here just to show you what they look like. Look at that texture. I don't know if you can see that in this bright light. Doesn't it look like fish? It has the same kind of texture and consistency as fish. Taste is the same. Each one of these little fishy things, they're made by Gardein, which makes a lot of different vegetarian products. Has about 90 calories, so this is a little bit more calories than I usually have for lunch, but hey, it's a birthday lunch. I would say the fish is pretty much done. Okay, I'm gonna head back into the garage, and I forgot to put out a really important thing when you're cooking outside with the sun. You have to put the pan down somewhere. So I've made these really high-tech pieces of cutoffs. Basically, they were cutoffs of plywood from a project. Now, oh, my fish is burning. Come on, fish. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Pull it off. Woo! It's rescued. Doesn't it look great? I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit because this is actually way too hot to eat right now. And I'm gonna take it off the pan because it's still gonna cook. You can hear it, I hope, well, over the dryer. And voila! Michael has a birthday lunch cooked 100% with the sun, easily, and quickly, and it's going to be bloody tasty, I'll tell you that. All right, guys, thanks for all the greetings again, and really doesn't feel that bad to be 52. Probably won't be saying that after tonight, but stay tuned. Bye-bye.